Hello there, Sagittarius. Welcome to DragonTaleTarot. My name is Ariel, and this is your New Year's reading, where your overview of 2020. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this is your first time to the channel, thank you so much for coming by, and if you are returning, welcome back again. If you have not yet done so, I do invite you to reach out and hit that subscribe button and join the Dragon family. Also, give it that dragon claw up by clicking the like button and let me know that you enjoyed this content. First, a few quick notes before we get started that this is a general reading. It will not resonate with every single Sagittarius out there, so if the messages do resonate with you, they are meant for you. If they don't resonate with you, kick them on out to another Sagittarius. Basically, take what makes sense to you and leave the rest. This will mostly correspond with Sagittarius Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising signs, and all Sagittarius cross-watchers are welcome to join us as well. If you're interested in a personal reading or information about the card decks that I use, all of that info is down below in the description box. So let's go ahead and get started. Sagittarius, so this is a big year for everyone. Last year was very challenging for most people. Some Sagittarians had a pretty decent year in spite of it all. They were able to, make the best of it, make the best of challenging circumstances because for 2019, the planet Jupiter, which is your ruling planet, was moving through your own sign of Sagittarius. Now, that changed on December 2nd, 2019, so Jupiter is currently moving through the sign of Capricorn, and it is also in a stellium, which is a connection of 3 or more planets. It's traveling along with Saturn and Pluto that are also in Capricorn. So we got those 3 big boys traveling around outside, and so it does change the energy up quite a bit for you. I would say that this year is definitely a year that requires more patience than usual for you, Sagittarius, because Capricorn is that kind of gradual building energy. It likes to take things one step at a time. Planning is important to Capricorn. Laying a solid foundation that will last the test of time is important to Capricorn. They don't really invest in things that they don't see going the distance or lasting the long haul. So that may definitely come into the picture for you. In the universal astrology chart for Sagittarius, these Capricorn planets are mostly going to be stationed in your second house, and that second house deals with Taurus. So this is resources, it's money, it's finance, it's your material possessions, it's your value system, what really matters to you, how you stay grounded and solid. And so that is something that I think will be going through a lot of transformation, overhaul, rethinking, and expansion as well, because Jupiter is an expansive planet, but the sign that it's in this year is a little bit more restrictive. So it's kind of a balancing act. And Sagittarius, to be honest, some of you are going to feel like, I take 1 step forward, I take 2 steps back, or 3 steps forward, a few steps back, and it's like you get forward, but then you go backward, and it makes you feel like you're just in this pattern where it's like back and forth, and it's like you're not really falling back too badly, but you're also not like going ahead, too expansively either. So that's where the patience comes in. That's where the patience is definitely required, because this is a lot of earthy energy and a lot of balancing that has to be done for you. So, just take this one day at a time, Sagittarius. Try to plan things out as much as possible, because planning and, having foresight is definitely favored when Jupiter is traveling through Capricorn. Jupiter is the great benefactor. That's why Sagittarians, even when you're totally down on your luck or down to your last penny or, just really, really struggling, it's like you have a natural sort of almost magical ability to bounce back. And that magical ability comes from Jupiter. It creates natural good luck. So thankfully you will always have that on your side, Sagittarius. And, Jupiter is lucky wherever it is. So even in Capricorn, which is a little bit tougher because it makes us work a little harder, it's still a very, very good placement for Jupiter, because they all really are. And I would say that all of your hard work that you do it will get rewarded even if you don't see it coming. It has, you know, Capricorn has a very karmic effect. Saturn has a very karmic timing effect, and Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto will all be traveling together, and so it's quite powerful for you. So the other things that I just wanted to make note of for you before we get started with the cards is, you know, and I put this up, you know, this session, because this is a book that I buy like every year. Not getting paid by Llewellyn or anything. I really like having a astrological pocket planner. I know there's other companies that produce similar things, but this one is pretty consistent. It's great because it just gives you a day-by-day overview of the moon phases and planet movements and things like that, as well as 3 years worth of ephemeris tables, which show you day by day every month where the planets are moving. So it's super helpful. And if you're a student of astrology or a practicer of astrology, it's kind of a must. So the two things I want to point out first, of course, is that Jupiter will be going into a retrograde. All of the big planets outside the asteroid belt from Jupiter through Pluto go retrograde for about 5 months out of the year, which means they're direct 7 months out of the year. So just take a note of that, Sagittarius, that Jupiter will be going retrograde starting on May 14th, and then it will be retrograde until September on the 12th. And I don't really want you to freak out or get too worried about Jupiter being in retrograde, because it's a very natural thing. We have this happen all the time. But what you will notice is sometimes when your ruling planet is in retrograde, it's like some of those bigger plans or farther reaching goals kind of get shelved. They kind of have to go through a bit of a review period. And it's a little bit harder to punch through with them. I know that. I'm a Capricorn, so, you know, Saturn does the same thing. It's retrograde 5 months out of the year, so what you going to do? It doesn't mean that you can't do anything during those times, obviously. It's like we have to live, we have to do our thing. But you will notice that sometimes those big, big goals that Jupiter rules, right? The big expansive thoughts and, you know, things that you want to do, it's like you have to rein them in a little bit when that retrograde's going on. And it doesn't mean that you can't plan for them. It doesn't mean that you can't even take trips and do things that you want to be doing. It just means that you will be in a more review kind of phase. And that's totally fine. The other thing I want to bring up too is that the planet Venus, which rules Libra and Taurus, is going to be in Gemini for a very long time this year. It's going to be there a long time because we have a Venus retrograde this year. And the reason that I say that's very important for you is because, you know, Gemini is the opposite of you, Sagittarius. And so that puts Venus in your universal relationship house for a very long period of time this year. And so let me get that. It's going to start, you know, Venus starts in Gemini on April 4th. So it stays there along with that retrograde through April, through May, June, July, and let's see when it goes into Cancer. Okay, so it gets out of Gemini finally on August the 8th. So just keep in mind that that's a long period for Venus to be in Gemini, activating and moving through that relationship house for you. And so I would say that that brings up a lot of relationship review and kind of dance back and forth. It also makes you more, sorry, Mr. Dragon, I keep bonking him. So yeah, it makes you more appealing and attractive and charismatic to other people too, because when Venus is lighting up that house, it makes you feel, you know, like a naturally attractive partner to others. So there are some big things coming up for 2020 planetarily. If you stay tuned to this channel, I will always make notes of, you know, the important astrological happenings before each of my card readings that will keep you updated, because obviously I can't get into every single thing that's going to be happening astrologically for you, Sagittarius. I just wanted to bring up some big themes. So yeah, so stay tuned because we're in for a ride for 2020. So let's go ahead and we're going to get into your cards. I'm going to start with a bunch of oracle cards we're going to do to give you some major themes overarching for this year. And then we're going to do a full tarot spread with a 12 card spread that's going to be for each month, detailing what's going to be coming your way. So let's go ahead and get started. Dear angels, divine beings of light, guardians, ancestors, helpers, and healers, please be with the Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising sign of Sagittarius as we do their 2020 New Year overview reading. Please protect their energy as well as mine throughout the session and bring through clear, accurate messages for their highest good. Thank you so much. Ooh, so look at that, Sagittarius. You've got, and your numerology and your key words for the year is domestic harmony, number 46. We've got the number 4, which to me is stability in the home and your foundations, and then the 6, which to me is always relationship related. It's the lover's number card in the tarot. So yeah, and in numerology, the 6 is very much about relationships as well. So domestic harmony. And if you feel like you're in a place where you go, Ariel, I don't know what you're talking about because it's crazy at my house and I don't feel harmonious at all, this means it's a year where you really work to attain that and create that. So Sagittarius, whether you are currently celebrating a feeling of balance and peace within the home, or you really, saying, I really need to work towards that, that is your keyword and your number for the year. Plus the 4 and the 6 add up to a number 1, which is about new beginnings, fresh starts, and, recreation. The Magician card is the number 1. So it's like, it's about you really recreating kind of that new reality for yourself. So now let's pull a guardian angel card. We're going to see what kind of energy is coming through from your angels, from your guides, as well as your ancestors, anyone that's, protecting you or is around you. This is what they want you to tap into, what to tune into as well when you're reaching out for help from them. Let's see what they have for you for this year. All right, Sagittarius, I like this for you. The Angel of Learning, number 19. I love the 19. I'm born on a 19. So, so I have a little bit of a bias, but I really like the 19 because it's the 1 and the 9, and then 1 is the beginning, the 9 is the completion, and it adds up yet again to a 10, to a 1. So you've got that number 1 coming out of both of these numbers for you right now. So to me, this is definitely a magical year. Learning and divine learning is coming from above. So absolutely, anything that feels challenging or tough, remember, this is, you're learning a lot. Jupiter in Capricorn is all about learning. You might even be a teacher or, teaching other people something, or taking classes yourself for something new that you've been really wanting to get into. But overall, yes. And I would say, Sagittarius, I love your sign because you are the eternal student of the zodiac. You are always looking to learn and absorb more information. You're never a sign that just, thinks, oh, I've got it all figured out, I don't need to learn anymore. You are always learning and embracing, new places, new people, new cultures, languages, ideas, philosophies, belief systems, and structures, and it's pretty awesome. So that's a very beautiful card to come assist you for your journey this year. So now let's pull a Sacred Destiny card to look into what kind of life path energy you're bringing in. Mm-hmm. And there you go, diligence. Oh my goodness, Sagittarius. So this Capricorn energy is going to be real strong with you this year, because to me, that is a diligent sign. It works hard, it focuses, it has stamina. You can see that bird flying the long distance over, over the landscape there. Sagittarius, you're also quite a traveler, so I really like this imagery for you because it really embodies both that traveling spirit as well as the stamina and the endurance that comes from that Capricorn energy. So absolutely, this is a strong movement year for you. Anywhere you go, you're gonna feel it. So now let's pull a card from the Hidden Worlds Oracle. This is going to be about kind of where that life path is leading. Where is it your soul really wants to reside this year, and where is Spirit taking you? Ooh, look at that, Sagittarius, the mirror. And look at the number, 37. Again, it adds up to a number 1. That's really something. You're getting a very strong, clear line here through all these cards. So other lives, past lives, dimensional lives. This is the realm of, memory from your soul coming through, Sagittarius. So, pay attention to those feelings. Pay attention to anything that you can't quite explain. It's like, I just know that I meant to do this, or I meant to go to this certain place. You could be feeling, the pull from your past lives, from, other places that you've lived in other incarnations. So yeah, this is really stepping, the world that you're meant to inhabit is really one of soul memory and looking within. Oh, so beautiful. I love that. So then we're going to pull some spirit animals from the Animal Oracle. And look at that. It moved over. Domestic harmony. It came over and flipped. It was like, yep, yep, yep. That's wild. Every one of those card numbers added up to a number 1. And that to me is just it's a very magical, fresh kind of energy that's coming in for you this year, Sagittarius. So let's pull some spirit animals. I'm going to do 4. Kind of like the 4 seasons, winter, spring, summer, fall. And we're going to see which one of these guys are coming through for you to guide you, to help you, to uplift you as you go about your journey this year. Oh, I love these. Oh, look at this. Okay, so Sagittarius, your first card that comes out is the Panther Spirit, Reclaiming Your Power. Number 44, which adds to an 8, so that's a beautiful balancing number. Our universal number, 2020, of course, is a number 4 years, so it's very much about foundational building. And this is saying reclaim your power. So right now, as we're in the winter season, this is time to step into your power, Sagittarius. Don't be afraid, because that Pluto energy, moving through with your ruling planet, oh my goodness, you are getting quite a lot of power coming through. Absolutely. So then we go into the springtime, and look at this. Not a surprise. The Nightingale comes up. Love is all around. So, Sagittarius, like I said, that's when Venus is going to start moving through your relationship house universally, and love is going to be very, very highlighted for you. Whether your relationship has been challenged, whether you're single and you're, hoping for someone new, or whether, you're in something and it's going really well, you'll get it even better. So it might go through some review, but I think it will overall improve in the long run. To me, the Nightingale, obviously, look, is sitting there on the phonograph record. So it's about music. It's about verbalizing what you need as well, and that makes sense because Venus is in Gemini, and it's all about communication, all about putting your words and your thoughts out there. And sometimes it's really great to do it through music, or through a poem, or through a movie, or just something that you share with somebody in a creative way. It connects deeper. And so then Sagittarius, for summertime, here comes that parrot spirit. Watch your words. So it's interesting that we go from the nightingale to the parrot. The summertime, we still are dealing with some of that Venus Gemini energy. And so to me, that again, it's very much about, you know, how you communicate. It's not so much what you say, it's how you say it, that kind of thing. And then getting into the autumn time, we are getting the brown bear spirit, which is take time out, and he's the number 9. So to me, this is a completion phase. As you come closer to the end of 2020, it's time to just, you know, the 9 is the hermit card in the tarot. So it's like, this is like taking some time to yourself to reflect, to relax, hibernate a little bit, do a little self-reflection, a little self-care. Absolutely wonderful. So let's check out our zodiac cards. I'm going to pull a card from the zodiac to see which sign is the most important for you to pay attention to this year, Sagittarius. It could be your own sign, or it could be someone else's. It could be somebody important that you're meant to meet. It could be a special point that's in your own personal birth chart. So let's see what comes through for you. And look at that, it's Libra. And I'm telling you, I'm saying that Venus sign is going to be in that 7th house. Libra is the 7th sign that rules that house. And so relationship, harmony, and balance is a really, really big deal. You could have a specific Libra in your life that's important to you, Sagittarius, or the sign of Libra could be important in your own chart, or somebody you meet this year that's going to help you out with some things. But Libra is your sign for the year. So let's pull up a planet card now. And the same thing, see what planet is the most important for you for 2020, Sagittarius. Ooh, look at that. The sun comes up. So to me, you know, this is your immortal spirit, purpose, destiny. It's your, you know, really your conscious mind. It's what you think about, what you dream about, what you feel, and how you put it out there every day. So it's also your ego consciousness and awareness. So the sun's movements are very important. So, you know, paying attention to where the sun is, you know, through all the signs as the year goes by is really important for you. Also could bring in some Leo energy because the sun does rule Leo. So that's something to keep in mind as well. So let's pull up a house card. This is the 3rd step to the astrology cards. The house, of course, is the place or the area of life that's most important for you this year. Where does this play out on predominantly for you? Ooh, and look at that, the 11th house, Sagittarius, that is the Aquarius house, where the cosmos grants wishes, luck, friends, and social occasions. So to me, that means it's going to be kind of a public year for you. It's going to be one of, you know, getting involved with big social groups, potential revolutions and movements. That is a very, very strong you know, kind of element for the 11th house. It really gives you power, like with the people and with the mass consciousness. So Mr. Dragon says hi. I'm just moving him over here so we can get into your tarot now. And I'm very excited to see what comes up for you. This is going to be a 12-month spread. So we're pulling a card for each month of the year, January through December. I'm going to be doing the initial spread with the Tarot Grand Luxe, and we will be clarifying when necessary with the Rider-Waite. So Spirit, I just want to ask you very directly, what is coming up for Sagittarius for 2020? Let's do a 12-card spread for them and see what you have in store. Okay, a lot of fire right away. We knew that love card was going to come up. We knew it. So January starts out, Sagittarius, you're feeling pretty feisty, pretty fiery. This is your own element with the Seven of Wands. To me, this is like, you're ready to fight for what you want. Just be careful to pick your battles wisely, because sometimes that Seven of Wands, there's like actually nothing down there to be fought, but you feel kind of punchy. You feel like, you're ready to go. Let's see what comes up. Why is that Seven of Wands there? What's got you feeling so fired up? Ooh, somebody done you wrong, Sagittarius. Some of you out there have really gone through some heartbreak energy here with that Three of Swords. So definitely, if you are a Sagittarius that has been on the receiving end of somebody not treating you right, somebody letting you down and disappointing you, yeah, you do not feel happy about that. You are ready to stand up for yourself, but that's a very positive thing, Sagittarius. If you're defending yourself and you're saying, you know what, I don't deserve that kind of treatment, that's very positive. And so, please don't put up with anyone that's being abusive or, just not treating you with the worth that you deserve. February, yeah, for some of you, you're really walking away from something. This shows, walking away from something that's not emotionally or spiritually fulfilling. If this doesn't have to do with a relationship, because this is general, this could also mean leaving a job. This can mean leaving a situation or a place that's just not doing it for you anymore. So, take this as it resonates, Sagittarius. Yeah, because this February, it's about balance. It's about regaining your balance. Because if you felt really thrown off by what was going on or what was happening, this is you really walking away to restore your harmony, to restore your balance. Take it one day at a time in any event. So March is going in with the Four of Coins. To me, this is, just being very guarded, cautious about your resources, cautious about sometimes even your heart. If you are one of the Sagittarians that has been through a heartbreak or some kind of, emotional loss or letdown, March sees you really kind of playing it close to the chest, saying, I don't want to invest in something unless it's really going to be the real deal. You don't want it to turn into something where you're too closed off and too guarded, Sagittarius, but it's totally fine, in my opinion, to be careful about that. Yeah, and take your time. There's that Seven of Pentacles on top of that. So just be patient. Just take it one day at a time. Don't have to rush anything. You take your own sweet time. That's about to call you Capricorn. It's because that Capricorn energy, but you are embodying that Capricorn spirit this year. So absolutely, Sagittarius, you don't have to rush. Going into April, more of that energy. We go from the Seven of Coins to the Eight of Coins. Look at that. So to me, this is you getting grounded, stable, doing the work. Like I said, some of you may be going either back to school, taking a class, picking up some new course of study, something that you've always wanted to do. So that's very positive. Then in May, we have the Judgment card. So this is coming up with some sort of a rebirth, some sort of regeneration, possibly healing. To me, that's almost like it's a Scorpio energy, a Pluto energy to that Judgment card. It's a little bit like the Death card, but it's almost like the higher vibration of it. It's like the Death card is the transformation, whereas the Judgment is like the rebirth. It's like, coming back to life, which may be, very, very strong for you around that month of May. Yeah, because you're doing some big healing here, Sagittarius. That Ten of Swords has been a very long, painful, mental struggle, mostly in the mind, but this can also be that feeling of being stabbed in the back, that feeling of just not being treated right. So that's what's, you're coming away from that. You're lifting up above that, completing that cycle. Then going into the month of June, I love that the Temperance card came up. That is your own energy. To me, that's just a lot of victory for you. This is the Sagittarius card, so it brings balance, it brings restoration, it brings a lot more peace. Going into July, there's that wishful thinking, Sagittarius. Got to watch out for that a little bit. This is an emotional card. July is an emotional month because it is a Cancer month, so we do have that very, emotional, sentimental, dreamy, wistful. This could give you that feeling that, everything's going all right, but I just wish I had that one cup that keeps eluding me. Try to stay in the moment, Sagittarius. Try not to get, into that place where you're putting yourself where, oh, if only I had this, I could be happy. But because I don't, I can't be. Don't put yourself in that position. Because it just creates a lot of unhappiness and discontent. And then over top of that, instead focus on, the bright new beginnings that you want to embody. There he is holding that globe and saying, okay, so what are the steps I've got to take? What are the new, things that I'm going to be doing that are going to be very positive for me? Then going into August, not a surprise at all that the Lovers card came up. You are having a lot of emphasis in the middle of the year, especially around love and around relationship and communication. The Lovers card is a Gemini card, so Venus and Gemini in your universal house of relationships, Sagittarius. August could definitely be a month for some of you that relationships either heat up or something new comes in, or you take a relationship to the next level. Let's clarify this Lovers card, see what else comes up on top of it. Ooh, and I like that. Look at that, Three of Cups. That's a very celebratory energy. So maybe this is like, finally, that person I really had a crush on goes out with me, or, somebody proposed to somebody. It could be different for everyone, obviously, because this is general, but that's a very positive set of cards there for August. So then going into September, there you have the Hermit, the number 9. Interesting that bear card, came up in the spirit animals, and here's the number 9 card in the tarot from the Hermit. So to me, this is, taking time for yourself. To me, the Hermit always, this is a Virgo card technically, but it always feels very Sagittarian to me because it's a number 9, you're the number 9, and, it has that element of traveling and that pioneer spirit which Sagittarius embraces, which is all about, taking that time out, going on those journeys of the soul to understand your truth better. So yeah, absolutely in September, remember your truth, Sagittarius. Step into who you are, who you know yourself to be. Maybe you need just a little bit of a break, a little time out just to kind of get, real centered with yourself. Look at that Ace of Wands coming up on top of that. So this is definitely divinely guided, that you get in touch with your power from the divine and how you channel that through. Two of Coins is coming up, and that is for the month of October. This is the second time the Two of Coins has come up into the spread. So this is always something I notice whenever we double up a card. Always pay attention to that. So October, yet again, another month of balance, another month of, taking things one day at a time, working, consistently and yes, diligently, just like that life card said, we are working diligently to bring about greater balance. And that is what this takes. This Capricorn energy in your ruling planet, oh my goodness, Sagittarius, it takes that. And making rational, calm, balanced decisions. Look at that King of Swords coming up there on top of that, which is all about the rational, calm, clear mind. This is also very strong Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. And check it out, that King of Swords is coming through again for the month of November, which is kind of like, for most of you, it's your birthday month. So doubled up on that King of Swords. Oh my goodness. So there could be, around this October, November time, there could be a very prominent either Aquarius, Gemini, Libra coming into your life. Or this just really denotes that you're going to be making a lot of very clear, calm, rational decisions that come from a very, very, clear, cool, collected place within you. Yeah. And I think my alarm is going off because I've got some food in the oven, so I'm going to wrap this up as quick as possible. It's very insistent. Oh, look at that. So Ace of Pentacles on top of that King of Swords for that month of November. So Sagittarius, it looks like all that balancing starts to pay off by the end of the year, because goodness, that's quite a jump. We go from October, Two of Pentacles, November, Ace of Pentacles, and they both have that King of Swords. Very, very interesting. So then the very last month, we've got the Emperor. This to me is very strong. It's fire energy, it's Aries, it's leadership, it's, you know, really, it's a strong breaking of the chains. Freeing yourself, doing your own thing. It's a little bit of that warrior spirit, but as you know, it's interesting how this progression works, because at the beginning of the year, you have that Seven of Wands that's kind of like, it's fiery and it's upset, but it's not quite, you know, sure exactly always how to use its anger in a good way. You know, but the Emperor knows how to use, you know, righteous anger or righteous indignation to say, look, I know what I deserve. I know how good I am. I'm a strong leader. I'm a strong individual, and I know how to rule my world. So very, very nice. Let's see what the clarifier for the Emperor is. Ooh, so the Queen of Wands, which is also very, very fiery energy. Very strong Leo energy from the Queen of Wands. It also can be Aries and Sagittarius, because this is fire. I really love her. To me, she's a generous, creative, abundant, very magical kind of personality. Where the little black cat is, you know, she's got that magic on her side. So Sagittarius, I think, honestly, this is a strong year. You start out with some struggles. You're working through some things, but it just kind of gets better as it goes along. You have some kind of challenge going on in that month of May for a lot of you. That would be a tougher month. I would also say there could be some stuff coming up around July as well. But there's a lot of victory. There's a lot of success here, especially for those of you that just take things one day at a time. Don't push the river. Don't rush. Don't get in a feeling like, oh, I've just got to hurry it up. Don't get in that place. Because the more that you do that, Sagittarius, the harder it is. So let's pull an affirmation card as the last bit of advice for you. Oh, perfect, perfect. Look at this ultimate, let's see, divine timing. And like I said earlier about the astrology with Capricorn and Saturn energy, going along with your ruling planet and your sign, it's all about timing. It's all about karma. It's all about things coming full circle. And again, you can't rush the timing. Divine timing is what it is. So the message is everything is timing and timing is everything. Gladly I release my concern over timing and let things happen when and as they will. I trust that the divine schedule makers know what they're doing. It can take a long time to reach divine middle management. So Sagittarius, it was a great reading for you. I'm so glad that so many good things have popped out, and I hope that this has been helpful and will be helpful as you go throughout your year, and I hope you have a beautiful 2020. Bye for now. Bye-bye.